Hey, what's going on, guys? This is fineokay from Monkey Madness, previously Sword Gaming. Today I'm going to be making a video on how to build the Destal Warrior Soul Laners. So originally I was thinking about making a video, and people suggested that I make a video about how to build Soul Laners. But it's very, obviously the way to build in every game is to counter build against the enemy team and their comp and everything. But there are some general go-to things that you need to go. So I decided that I'd make a 3-part video. The first video, which is this video, would be about the Destal Warriors. So like Bellona, Erlang Shen, Osiris, and things of that nature. And then the second one would be about the Bluestone or ability-based warriors. So like Chak, Tyr, Vamana, Wukong, stuff like that. And then the last one would be about the Guardians that are played in the Soul Lane. So we'll go ahead and get started with this video. So first we're going to start off with Bellona. So I already have another video about how to start them. So I'm just going to put this in real quick just so you have it. If you're confused about how to start or why I'm doing this, just go ahead and watch my other video and you'll understand why I'm doing this. So that's going to be the start. So once you have that, since you're starting with boots 1, you're going to want to finish out with your full boots. And I always go Ninja Tabi on Bellona and my Destal Warriors. I know some people like to go Warrior Tabi. It helps with full clearing the wave more, and if you feel like you aren't going to get a lot of autos off, then your autos will hit harder, of course, if you have Warrior Tabi. But good to go Ninja Tabi. You get more procs off on your, what am I doing? You get more procs off on your block stacks on your 1, and you also get more healing with your 3 because you're autoing 3 times more often, right? So yeah, that's why it's good. Also, another thing to note with this is if you have Warrior Tabi, you'll almost one-shot the back minions, and with Ninja Tabi, you'll get an extra auto off, which is an extra 24 health with Destal because you're hitting 3 minions, or maybe even 48 because you're hitting all the wave. So something to think about. Of course, going to Mark. So Mark is your first defensive item because it's a good bridge item, 100 health, 10 physical protections, and that passive that's relevant all game. It got nerfed to 4, but it's still very relevant, and it'll mitigate so much damage throughout the whole game. So it's good to get as a bridge item, especially because the next item you'll be going is Mystical Mail. Mystical Mail is really good on Bellona. It's the Deathwalker build basically because of you have this bridge physical defense item. You get a bunch of health, and you can play really aggressive with this. You can solo basically anybody in the game. You don't really have to worry about mages because you're getting 300 health from it. And now this is where I would usually go Heart of the Urchin, unless they have like a double magical damage dealing comp. Like they have for some reason they have Alquang Jungle and like a crazy high pressure like a Soul ADC or something of that nature. It's not really in the meta right now, but if they had that, then I wouldn't put Eye of the Urchin here. I would just go a real magical defense item like Pestilence. But if I don't have to worry about it, then I'll just go Eye of the Urchin. Because then I can start stacking this up as soon as possible. It's a really good item. It gives you so many protections if you stack it up. Plus the 250 health, 250 mana, that's really good. Right here, since we're on a Destal Warrior who is based on auto attacking, we're going to go Shoguns. This really helps with the team. 25% attack speed is insane on an aura item. It doesn't give you a lot of magical defense, but like I said, we went Hide the Urchin here because we really don't have to worry about their magical damage dealers, and plus we already have so much health in this build just from these 3 items that it's okay to go Shoguns here. This is where you kind of can flex. If they have a lot of knockups, Stone of Gaia is not a bad pickup. If they have an Ares, maybe Stone of Gaia is not bad because a lot of times the Ares is looking to pull the tanks or just burn the carries beads. So Stone of Gaia is not bad here. Masamune is not bad here. Masamune is a good item. It's a good aggressive item, but it also gives health and that defense and movement speed that you can never forget. Another combo of items that I'll just put one more item here that we could possibly go is a Midgardian Mail. Midgardian Mail, lots of health, lots of peel for yourself against the enemy ADC because it slows them, of course. Another thing to combo to think about, if you're super far ahead, you can go Frostbound and Runeforged. Now this isn't going to give you a lot of defense. It gives you a good amount of health, right? 550. But you would only do this if you're like decently far ahead because you can get blown up if you go this build. Like if I were going to go this combo, it would be after Heart of the Urchin. So that's something to think about. Also something to think about is Midgardian Mail passive procs Runeforged. So if they're autoing me and then they get slowed by with this item, I'm going to be doing more damage. And of course with our relics, we're going to go, where is it? Teleport. And usually we'd be going Sunder second because it's broken right now. but we can go Thorns. It's not that effective on Bologna because you're blocking autos with your 1 if you're ever like boxing somebody really, or they're just disarmed, so they may not even be hitting you. But it's still something that's like decent. And yeah, these are pretty much the only 3 relics you would ever always be going teleport. So this would be the build with Bologna. You can mix it up a little bit, but your core items are going to be these first 4 items, and maybe even Shoguns. Also, if you're getting destroyed by magical, maybe not looking to going Shoguns, because you may want to go like Pestilence because it gives you 40 more protections and 200 health, and then you really won't be ever being killed by their mage ever. So we're going to move on to Erling Shen. I'm going to put the starter items in real quick so everybody sees where we're starting off. Okay, so we have that. Now, Erling's going to be similar to Bologna. I almost would never go Warrior Tabi on Erling Shen just because you get more procs off of your 1, which is like flat auto damage, so you would want this so you can get more of it. Ninja Tabi. Plus, he's just good with Ninja Tabi because he gets more procs of Death Stole off, especially with his dog because he procs it twice. So this is going to be very similar to Bologna. You were starting off with Mark of the Vanguard, and then Mystical Mail. Mystical Mail is really good on Erling. I almost always build him with health because if you build him ability base, that's fine, but his ult scales off of health, right? You get more return of a heal if you have more health just in your kit. So I would go Mystical there and Hide the Urchin here. I would almost always do this, right? And Shoguns again, just like Bologna. We're going Shoguns. This is a pretty standard build. Now, this is where it might be a little different from Bologna. I kind of like going Witchblade because good attack speed, more procs off on your 1. Also, if they have any relevant healing at all, this is good to go. Also, you can go Witchblade on Bologna. I forgot to mention, but it's very good on Erling Shen. We can go Runeforged again. Runeforged might even be placed here because we can do damage while we're taunting them, and it'll be increased because of the Runeforged passive. We can root them, and we're doing more damage. It wouldn't work if we knocked them up, but it's still relevant. And we can also go Frostbound. Frostbound. This is more health that we're gonna get back on our ults if we heal. So yeah, this is not that bad. Masamune is another item to think about. As you'll notice, a lot of these items have health built into them as well, and that's kind of why we're going them, especially on these Death Toll Warriors, and especially on Erling Shen because he gets so much back from his ult if you have health. And again, it's never wrong to just go. If you want some cooldown and you want some raw defense, Mantle of Discord is always fine. Also, Mantle of Discord is good on him because it can allow him to get his heal off. So, because if you think about it in the situation, you're getting blown up, you just use your ult, you're getting pretty low, and you think you're not going to get the heal off in time before you die. If you stun him with the Mantle of Discord passive, if you get that low, you might be able to get your heal off, right? So that's something to think about. And then Relic, of course, we're going Teleport first, and Sunder second, most likely. Thorns is not that bad on him again because you can heal a lot with your ult, so you're going to be able to survive with a lot of it. So Thorns is not bad on him. And if you are in such a bad situation where you are like getting blown up, because a lot of times Erling Shen can get destroyed if he just gets CC'd at all, it might be worth it to go Purification just so you can make sure you survive, right? So this is pretty much the standard build on him. If you're like feeling super aggressive, kin size isn't a bad item on him just because you have so much attack speed and everything. You're going to be fatalising people and you'll be one-shotting. But usually you don't need it. Usually you don't need that damage. You do enough damage with just your 1 and your attack speed built in with these defense items. So this is how you build Erling Shen. Now for Osiris, we are going to be building very similar to Bologna. I'm just putting this in for now. Building very similar to Bologna. Warrior Tabi is usually go-to. Most people build Warrior Tabi. I've been liking Ninja Tabi as of late just because I like auto-attacking more, getting more procs off my Death Toll, and just overall, I don't know, putting out more DPS, I think, is with Ninja Tabi. Although if you go Warrior Tabi and you're auto-attack canceling perfectly, it's probably more DPS just because, you know, auto-attack canceling is good on Osiris. But anyway, then we'd be going Mark of the Vanguard. And almost always Mystical Mail, like I said before. Something I forgot to mention is if you're like in a position where you just really feel like you can't get to that 2700 gold and you just need that defensive item as fast as possible, Higher Than You Mean is the go-to. I would never go Breastplate on Osiris or Bologna or, well, maybe on Erling Shen because he can use the abilities better. But I almost always go Hide the Nemean. It's more protections. It's better against ADCs. You don't really need the cooldown on any of these warriors, so Hide the Nemean's to go to if you're a little bit behind. But usually you shouldn't be behind, so you should go Mystical Mail. And again, you're going Hide the Urchin right here into Shoguns if you can afford it. If you can afford to give up that that defense, you're ahead enough. It's good on him because of the attack speed, right? But if not, you'd be going Pestilence almost always. Bulwark's something to think about too if you can afford it, if you're that far ahead, because Bulwark will make you literally unkillable because you have so much health, so that shield that you get from Bulwark will be amazing. But if not, just go Pestilence. It's that 80 magical, 200 health, which is really good defense. You shouldn't be dying to mages at all after that point. Oh, excuse me. So then after that, if I have Pestilence, I'd go into Masamune. Now, at this point, I'm so goddamn tanky. I have so much health, so much. I have a lot of damage as well with Masamune and just Mystical Mail and just walking people down with my slows that at this point, my build's basically rounded out. So if I'm feeling frisky or anything, I can go a Rune Forged, because then if I just slow them with my one or have them tethered and they eventually get stunned, or ult them and they're rooted, I'll be doing more damage with all of these things, so Rune Forged isn't bad. Or Frostbound, or both, right? I could go Frostbound and Rune Forged after I go Masamune. So yeah, these are good. And again, it's never wrong to just go Mantle Discord. 60 protection cheats is always good. I like going health. It's kind of been the go-to lately, but Mantle Discord is never something to forget. Something that you could also go here that's not that bad on Osiris because he can spam his abilities so much is Gladiator Shield. Even though, like I said, you don't want the cooldown, it's more about the passive. You're getting so much shield because you're just wanting them so often that you're getting that return, 2.5%, basically everyone, because you're basically hitting them with everyone. So that's something to think about. I'll put that down here just to have it there so we don't mess with everything. So this would be the build. And again, I know it's getting beaten a dead horse, but you'd go Teleport, Sunder. That's just what you have to go right now. Every other item's really bad, or Relic is pretty bad. Sprint's something you could think about on any of these warriors, but usually you'd be going Sunder and you can kill anyone on the map with it, and Sunder's good to have. And it's never also wrong to go Thorns, but I like going Sunder more. If you go Thorns, make sure you upgrade it because that's 8 seconds worth of Thorns, which is super important. That's 8 seconds where they can't really attack you. So yeah, this would be the build on Osiris. I know that these are pretty much the same, but make sure you are building in these first 4 items in this order, unless you're against a magical. If you're against a Guardian and you're playing like Osiris, I would still build Mystical Mail first, just because it gives you that health. You don't have to worry about it. The only time you're ever going to get killed by a Guardian is if you're getting ganked by a physical warrior. Or not a warrior, but a physical jungler, right? So Mystical Mail is still good to have. So, but if I were against a Guardian, I might go Magical Defense here instead, and then have Hide the Urchin here, because then I'd have to worry about the magical damage a little bit more. So our last Death Toll warrior that we're going to be talking about is Raven. So, Raven is a Death Toll warrior and also ability-based warrior, right? You can build him either way. It's just kind of a preference or what you think is better. I'm just going to cover both. I'm not going to say which I think is better. I think I usually play with cooldown more, but I don't think it is that big of a deal. So if you're going Raven, I would go Warrior Tabite. You're not getting a lot of autos off with your hit chain and everything, and this will make your autos hit more with your auto attack cancels with your 3 and 1. So I would always go Warrior Tabite, and I would never go Ninja Tabite. But if I'm building him just auto attack and just dive comp or whatever, and not ability based, I would just build very similar to what we were building before. I would go Mystical Mail into Hide of the Urchin. However, I would get Rune Forged a lot earlier. I would get Rune Forged here, especially if I don't have to worry about magical damage. A lot of times as Raven, you don't have to worry about magical damage because a lot of magical abilities you can avoid with your 2 or your ult. Both are really good immunities, so I would go Rune Forged. And if you get Rune Forged here, your slow is going to be you're going to start doing more damage if you slow them. If you root them, you're going to do more damage with your 1 after the root. If you root into ult, your ult will do a ton of damage, right? It's just all around good to go Rune Forged because he has a lot of ways to set it up. And if I go Rune Forged, I'll be going Frostbound, of course, because the combo there is insane. So now we have our 5 items, so we're going to round it out with, if we're worried about the magical damage again, I'd go a magical item here, but if not, I could go Masamune if I just want to be more aggressive. If I just want to make sure I don't die while I'm diving, I would just go Mantle of Discord. And of course, something to think about every time is Stone of Gaia. 400 health is really important, and the passive where you don't get knocked up is good against a lot of characters in the game right now. Susano ult, Geb knock up, Ares ults, there's stuff like that, you know. Every knockup is a good CC, so it's something to think about when you're running out your build with Stone of Gaia, just so you make sure you can't get killed in those late game team fights. And of course, our relic would be teleport. Sorry, Sunder. Sunder is really good on Robin. Like I said, if you Sunder them, root them, ult them, they're gonna get insta kill because of all the extra damage, especially with Runeforge. And then I don't really like going Thorns on Robin. And I don't even really think there's really another relic you could go. You could go Thorns, but you're immuning so much, and you're, but I guess you could go it just because your ult, right? Your ult has damage reduction, but they're going to be taking the same amount of damage because of the Thorns passive. So, yeah, it's probably the go-to build on Robin, unless you're building him ability base, which will be in the next video. So yeah, guys, I'm going to split this video into 3 parts, like I said. I know this one was a little short. There's a lot more ability-based warriors than there are Destor warriors, but the Destor warriors are the most important right now because they are in the meta and they are high pressure. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, I know that a lot of them were built up pretty much the exact same, but that's just how you build. That's how they're looking right now. Also, some things are situational. Some items are situational, like Witchblade, like I talked about. If they have any relevant healing, look to get that because you are auto-attacking a lot. Stone of Gaia is a situational item that's pretty good because of the passive, and the regen on it is something to think about as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be about ability-based warriors. There's going to be a lot more, obviously, because there are more of them. And those will be, the builds on those will vary a little bit, so that's interesting, and that should make for a fun video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Have any questions, comments, ideas, leave them in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.